Hey Wanderers, Bill here. And in this really interesting video, I'm actually doing a bit of a correction, but I'm going to be talking about a video that I just did about Villa Vie Odyssey's new rent-to-own program that I called Goldilocks or Gimmick. Now, why am I doing this? Well, just today, just this afternoon, one of my viewers posted up and he's like, "Hey Bill, how come you didn't talk about the 3-month minimum?" And I'm like, 3-month minimum? I didn't know there was one. So either I missed it in my initial take or in my initial research into the website, or it's changed literally since I recorded. I'm not sure which, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna dive into those FAQs, that new information, and we're gonna see what matters to you if you're considering their rent-to-own program. Let's dive in. So right here is the press release of the Villa Vie Odyssey's new month-to-month living at sea rent-to-own program. Now, when I went through their press release, I didn't see anything overly deep, anything in particular about a 3-month minimum. That was one of the first places that I got my information from. Now let's also just go straight to their page, rent-to-own. So the rent-to-own program, definitely go to this page, scour it, and look through it. But we're going to scroll on down, and here it's going to talk to you about how it works. Take a look at it for yourself, and this is where we went through the pricing and other information for the inside villa or a porthole villa. And this is sort of where I'd stopped, is right about here where they talk about all of the basic things that you get. Now is the important thing, which is the FAQs that are posted. In particular, right at the top of decision making is, how is this different from try before you buy? Try before you buy is limited to 7 days. Sale towards ownership, which is actually a different term than rent to own. Just saying, Villa Vie, if you want to call it rent to own, not sale towards ownership. Make up your mind. Just saying. Rent to own, the sale towards ownership, requires a minimum of 3 months to qualify, giving you a much deeper experience. Why should they choose sale towards ownership over renting or just buying outright? They say this is for if you're on the fence about ownership, but you want a lower risk way to transition. It allows you to build credits towards ownership without making the full upfront investment. What protections do you have? It's a pay-as-you-go program where your contractual obligation is only limited to 3 months. No obligation to purchase at any time during your rental. So there's decision-making. Let's go to financial/risk. How much of their rental payments apply towards ownership? A portion is credited starting at $500 per villa. You can apply additional amounts towards ownership if you choose. That doesn't make sense to me on initial reading. Is there a maximum that I can earn? There is no maximum. The minimum credit is $500, and you can apply more towards ownership at any time. Down payment? I'm sorry, that does not compute to me. The time frame that you have to convert to ownership? No timeline. No time limit. You can convert whenever you're ready. They're always happy to take your money if you're going to buy a cabin. Trust me, they always want you to buy a cabin. Do your credits expire if you don't buy within that period? I assume that means if you don't buy within your 3 months that you're renting to own, if you don't buy then, but you go back home, you close out your life, that sort of thing, then you can convert when you're ready. Do your credits expire if you don't buy within that? No, they do not expire. What happens if cabin prices increase before you decide to buy? Are you locked into today's price? Yes. According to this, you are locked into the price stated in your signed contract. So, just saying, I think the devil's in the details in this. I have not looked at a contract, I have not received a contract, and I am not a lawyer. All I'm saying is that if you're considering this, research and look into that contract deeply. What's the minimum deposit required or for sale towards ownership? 3 months rent is due upon signing the contract. I'm also saying, like, I see sail toward ownership all over the FAQs, but the webpage does say sail toward ownership. But the link says rent to own. I'm only just saying that I think there's some confusion in the branding or the marketing of this. They keep using the word sail toward ownership, but it's called rent to own. Make up your mind. If you don't end up buying, do you lose your credits? Yupper doodles. The credits apply only toward the purchase of a villa or towards Endless Horizon or Golden Passport. Okay? No, there is no administrative fee, no premium for doing this. Are the funds or the credits transferable to anyone, friend or family? Negative, Ghost Rider. That pattern is full. How do maintenance fees work when you convert? Do you immediately start paying full price? Your fees start when the cabin is fully paid. Your maintenance fees do. At that point, your monthly fees are locked in. You start enjoying full ownership benefits, including your specific cabin assignment and friends and family privileges. Now let's take a quick look at lifestyle or practical. Can you sail multiple times as a renter before deciding to buy? Yep, absolutely. They are always happy to have people on board. Will you be in the same villa each time, or can you try multiple categories? You can try multiple categories in this program. The credit remains the same, minimum of $500, regardless of category. If you convert, can you count the time already spent on board as part of your ownership timeline? Negative, Ghost Rider. Your credits are not applied retroactively. And what happens if you want to stop midway and not continue the program? You're on it and you're like, nope, this is not for me. This is not my ship. This isn't my community. I'm hitting the eject button. Guess what? Your monthly rental is subject to the cancellation terms in your contract. Read that contract. If you cancel within the allowed window, whatever that is, then you will receive a refund. So there you go. Those are the brand new, or I missed, one of the two. We'll find out. Those are the FAQs that are now posted on villavieresidences.com/rent-to-own. I apologize if I missed this in my initial investigations, in my initial research. If it was my bad, it was my bad, and I'll take the hit for that. If it's brand new, then what I will say is this is a fluid, brand new situation, and they're learning this and figuring it out as they go. Thank you very much for watching. Please continue to watch the rest of our content on the Wandering Highlanders. Take a look at why did we go to the Villa Vie Odyssey. Check out what our trip was like. See what our cabin was like, what we thought of it. The good, the bad, and the ugly. And also, please take a look at our port visit videos. It's obvious that people are watching a lot more about the ins and outs of the Villa Vie, but it would certainly help us and help the channel if you took a look at our videos about what life was like in the ports and all the fun places that we went to. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you on the journey.